Mets Derby recap. Andrew Claudio here. Game 140 of the baseball season is in the books. I don't know what to tell you about Ryan Helsley. You guys hopefully saw my reaction video when they made the trade, how pumped I was that they created this very elite back end of the rotation. You would have gotten to the 6th inning and said, game over. We got Rogers for the 7th, Helsley for the 8th, and Diaz for the 9th. Unfortunately, the same thing happens when Ryan Helsley comes in the game. I think game over. He's about to give up so many runs that the Mets will have no chance to come back in this game. It's one of the worst stints and tenures with the Mets as a reliever that anybody's ever had, and that's not hyperbole. Here are the only other two Mets relievers in their 62-year history that have an over 11 ERA, at least an 11.00 ERA in 11 innings pitched. It's Franklin Killamay. Some of you prospect huggers probably remember him from the early 2020s. In 2020, during the COVID-shortened season, 11 1/3, 11.12 ERA. And then maybe if you're an old head like me, Edwin Almonte in 2003, 11 1/3, 11.12 ERA. That was their only stints in the major leagues. They got that action, and it was determined, you're probably not a major leaguer. That's how bad Ryan Helsley has been. So bad that you probably look at his 11.45 ERA and say, you're probably not a major leaguer. And I wouldn't release him. I wouldn't DFA him. I wouldn't give him a chance to go to another team and figure it out. I know he wouldn't be eligible for their postseason, but you know how much egg is on your face if he goes to the Phillies or goes to the Reds, or dare I say it, goes to the Giants and helps them get into the playoffs over the Mets? Like, you just don't risk it. You send him to the corner. You send him home even. And you just say, we're not going to allow you to hurt anybody else or help anybody else or hurt us anymore. A phantom IL stint if you have to. Give him 2 weeks off until you clinch. And then if you clinch, then if you want to release him, fine. If you want to try and get him right for the playoffs, fine. But he is the very last person on the trust tree as far as I'm concerned. Some other notes about the game. 22 runs the last 2 days, only 2 runs today. The Tigers were much more desperate. Although Marte hasn't played a bunch lately, so I don't blame the 36-year-old for being a little cold, but had a couple of big at-bats and didn't get the job done. Clay Holmes couldn't get through the 5th inning. He continues to just be an opener, and if you didn't have 2 other pitchers that were supposed to be starters, and really 3 other pitchers that are supposed to be starters, only being openers and barely getting through their 3rd or 4th inning. In fact, 4 2/3 giving up 1 run is progress from what we've seen lately. You wonder if the Helsley thing now leads to him finding a new role. And like I said, beware of the San Francisco Giants. They're playing Colorado and have the 3rd easiest schedule, so we'll see what happens. Let's go Mets.